Starting today, 90% of your marketing budget should go into video. I'm Byron. Welcome back to the channel. If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing and sharing it. And on this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why video is essential for your business. I'm going to give you a real life example. And also, we're going to talk about why this may be the only option you have left. First, let's jump into the all-time real estate coach, Tom Ferry, talking about exactly why this is essential for your business.
Number 7 or 8 on my list is selling in blank. Selling in blank, avoid this $20,000 mistake. Selling in Dallas, avoid this $200,000 marketing mistake. Selling in Hoobie-Dooville, avoid this $15,000 marketing mistake. Now, you could have, of course, from that say, well, what mistake? Well, have you gone in the MLS and looked at some photos of some of the properties that are for sale?
Great example. That's
a mistake, right? The lack of video, the lack of exposure, the lack of email marketing, the lack of agent network, the lack of, you could argue, it could be tens of thousands of dollars. Think about so many people I talked to, Glenda Baker in Atlanta, Georgia. She's like, darling, because when I launch my listings, we unveil the property at such an extraordinary level that, we're going to sell the property with multiple offers and it's going to sell over asking, which I know sounds normal today, but she's actually able to articulate because of the things that they're doing, they get more. So the opposite of that is people that don't do those things lose 15,000, lose 20,000.
And what Tom's talking about is styles of video, different types of video you can be putting into your business, which again are essential going forward. More essential. You've heard this for 5-10 years. Video. You've heard Tom say it. You've heard so many people say it. Put video into your marketing plan. It's mandatory now. I'm going to tell you why at the end of this video. But these are examples to produce easy videos so you don't have to overthink it. So you can just take action and start producing video. What he's talking about there, 62 lessons I learned. He's actually giving an example of a partnership that had 62 years of experience. Boom, they take their years, 60, and they use a fun number like that, right? It literally could be, and here's the easiest video show to start producing right now, 52 questions over the next 52 weeks, a Q&A show that you're going to produce over the next year. Just go into your inbox and look at the last 52 questions that consumers are asking you, because I guarantee and promise you that if they're asking you those questions, they've also asked Google the same question. And if they've asked Google that question and you have a video titled the same way that they asked the question to you, it is going to populate. It is going to show up on Google. Google owns YouTube, and you should have a video there for your community, for the consumers that are asking these types of questions. I was actually on Tom's Ferry podcast, and I gave an example of doing video consistently, just a simple format show similar to the Real Word podcast that I have right now, where I just pick topics that are trending in the news, real estate related, and give my thoughts on them. Doing that show consistently. This YouTube channel that I'm referring to isn't even up still today, but I did it consistently every single week. And I didn't get a lot of traction in the beginning. I didn't get any comments. I didn't get it. Nobody was liking or sharing the video, but the right person saw the video. Here's what I said on Tom's podcast.
Interesting part, because Kirk's one of my closest friends on the planet. He said to me, we still compete at times on listing presentations. He's like, but the vast majority of the people are just like, come list my house. I've seen everything. You guys have answered every freaking question I've ever had. Florida. You clearly know exactly what you're talking about. List my house, right?
Because of the consistency in video.
Do you find it? Does it grease the wheels or whatever the phrase is?
Absolutely. And my first YouTube show, which was crappy, I was editing it myself. I was doing it on Windows. I don't even know what the software was.
Laughing.
Yeah, he's definitely laughing. I mean, a guy like Tristan, he's embarrassed for me.
Yes, he's nodding yes.
But listen, I was getting absolutely no views, no traction on YouTube. but I was emailing it out. I was putting it out there on Facebook. I was doing whatever I could to organically get it. I wasn't running ads or anything like that.
Yeah.
The very first development I ever picked up was off of that YouTube show. And these sisters, they sent the video to their brother, who is a developer, who had the same agent. His dad hired their agent.
Wow.
And they had the same agent for over 20 years. And in fact, that agent sold 67 of the 76 homes in the development. There was 9 left, but he hadn't sold one in over 12 or 15 months. So they were looking for a change, even after 20 years, after that relationship, because there was no creative marketing. There wasn't any, they didn't feel like they were getting the buyer of today. And so that got me a meeting on my first development, that video. And it was, it was a 1 meeting deal. And I ended a 20-year relationship for the other agent.
And I only got that opportunity again is because I never got emotional about how many comments, how many thumbs up, how many shares I was getting on my content. I knew that if I was going to beat, in 2012, if I was going to beat the standard agent, the number one agents in my marketplace, I wasn't going to do it in the newspaper. Our community had seen them in the newspaper for the last 30 years. I had to do something that was the next 10 years. So I knew video was it. I saw a talk that Gary Vee gave to a Remax. There was a local video producer that said, hey, you got to check out this talk. I watched the talk and I was like, boom, that's it. I've got to do a weekly show. And it's shocking to me how many people are still today in 2021 not producing weekly video content. All you need is the right person to see it. But what happens is a lot of us, and this is natural, human tendency, will not see a lot of feedback online and will stop producing video, forgetting that it just takes that one meeting to move the needle. That one new construction meeting meant multiple new construction projects for me afterwards. I got in the door because the sisters of the developer were searching on Google for an answer to their question. Why are these homes not selling? Who can sell these homes? Who's doing creative marketing? They came across my video. They liked what I had to say on a video, and they invited me in for a conversation. At the end of the day, we know we need conversations to equal closings, to equal new developments, to equal whatever we're trying to achieve in our business. And you can talk to way more people. There's so many. Think about how you consume social media. Are you lurking at times, not liking, not sharing, right? Not commenting? All you need is the right person to do the same thing on your content. And if it's the right time, they're going to reach out or they're going to email it over to somebody who needs to have a conversation with you. Now, you should be producing video. You've heard it a bunch of times. But now it's going to be your only option to get business. What do I mean by that? Our marketing has significantly changed. Chris Smith, co-founder of Curator, actually says our marketing is no longer compliant. What does he mean by that?
Real estate marketing just changed and our industry is not prepared. Yesterday's playbook got burned and privacy lit the match. Consumers won. They want privacy, they want transparency, they want change, and they got it.
You can check out this whole video. I'll link this video below. I would encourage you to watch the entire video. He's talking about the privacy laws that are changing. Okay. This is not just the Apple update, but these are actual laws that are going to inhibit you from following people around the internet, from keeping people in your CRM for months and even years. That's right. Even people you've transacted with. Go check that video out and you'll understand more about what I'm talking about. So what's the answer then? If we're not going to be able to email people that we've done business with for more than a year or 2 years, if we're not going to be able to target people specifically through Facebook and Instagram, what options are we going to have to be able to generate new leads? Here's the answer.
So how do we stay compliant? What changes have you made to your marketing based on the consumer empowerment movement? And if the answer is nothing, I would advise you to wake up and take action immediately. I started by saying that yesterday's playbook just got burned. I want to end by telling you what's in tomorrow's playbook. What is compliant marketing? I want you to know what that looks like moving forward so that you can do it for yourself and do it for your brand. All of these new rules have one thing in common. They are making it harder than ever to contact people. So the solution is get people to contact you. Instead of figuring out how to get around all these obstacles, create a presence that attracts people to your business. You want as many people as possible contacting you. There's no rules against that. There's no privacy against that. It's the other way around. So start off, build a brand.
Boom. That's it, guys. Building a brand means consistently putting out content that people actually can learn from and that people actually want to consume on a weekly basis, on a daily basis if possible. But you need to at least start weekly. Monthly, every other week, sporadically is not going to be enough. Pick a day in your calendar every single week and shoot that weekly show. Shoot that Q&A show. Shoot that educational tips from whoever show. You need people reaching out to you going forward because you are the expert in your community. You are the voice. You are the mayor. You are the producer of all content that actually matters. Similar to how I got my first new development. I wasn't looking for a thumbs up. I wasn't looking for a comment. I got a phone call or an email, I think it was email, to have a conversation with those two sisters and their brother, the developer of the project. And once you get face to face, now it's on you, right? Do you actually have the value to add to them? Do you have the skills to pitch the deal and close the deal there on the spot or in the second meeting, right? Do you have the goods? It's going to come down to that. Can you actually produce, help, and educate? But you're never going to even have the chance to show what you can do if you don't build a brand online. And that starts with 90% of your content being video. If you enjoyed this content, if you got value out of this content, please consider subscribing. I'll see you guys on the next one.